Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 10 of the Cattle-Lackie. We're picking up roughly where we left off in episode 9. We've finished harvesting our first soybean field, and we've moved on to the second. We're just about done plowing the cornfield that we harvested, and it's ready for some seed. So as soon as this is done, we're going to go ahead and load up the seeder and get some winter wheat in here and get that process underway. In the meantime, we've got a few other things that we're going to go ahead and work on. Let's see. Where do we start? Well, I suppose we could start by putting our milk truck away. By the way, in case anybody's interested, in our last episode, we were selling milk, and we were selling milk, and we were selling milk to the tune of $229,000 worth of sold milk. Well, how about that? Got started recording, and the phone rang, and I had to take the call. So anyway, where were we? So, yeah, we sold $229,000 worth of milk. How about that? Oh, man. Okay, and I don't get a commission on any revenue from the animals. Come on, JD. I think it was my TMR that got you $229,000. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the milk truck put up and get it out of the way. As I said, we are beginning our harvest on the second soybean field. First one is done. We had a pretty good, an okay yield off that field. Frankly, it wasn't great for the size of it. I frankly think it should have done better. But hey, I have a sneaking suspicion, and now that we can treat these fields with some loving care, kindness, and respect, I think they'll definitely do better the next time around. So let's get the milk truck put up. And remember to park it. There we go. Moving on, what's next? Oh, so you'll notice we've got something new here. We have a new baler. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is I want to bale up that soybean straw. And before I started the episode, I decided to do a little bit of a test on with our Krone baler. And interestingly enough, it didn't work. It would not pick up the soybean straw. How about that? And I believe that was a base game baler. I could be wrong. It could have been a modded baler. So I did a test with a few other balers. Ironically enough, even the cheap $12,000 John Deere baler that we have over at the farmstead, and it picked it up. So I pulled this out, which again is a base game baler, I believe, and it picked it up too. So we have another baler, which is fine. You know, as we move along and we have all this grass to bale and later on straw to bale, it might actually come in handy to have an extra baler. So that's where we're at. Finished work. Okay, okay. Perfect. So we're done plowing. Well, we're sort of done plowing. I am going to clean up some of the areas here that require a bit of extra attention. As I said, I'm just far too ADHD to allow this to go without being cleaned up. So probably better check all of the corners. I have a sneaking suspicion they all need a little bit of a tweak. I think what I may do after I run the planter over this, realizing it's not going to tuck into the corners really tight, I may go ahead and just wherever the cedar doesn't get, I may just round off the corners of the field with the there we go. There's a few more bits right here. Round off some of these corners with the landscaping tool so that we can stay off the fence. And we didn't. Oh, my word. Okay. Have I told you how much I really, really like maps that you can demolish everything and sell everything? Yeah, fences around fields. They look great, but I could certainly do without them, especially when I'm dealing with articulated tractors and big, wide implements. All right. Get this all cleaned up. So how's everybody doing? I hope well. Again, I apologize. I was able to get an episode out. It was a day late. But I did publish it this morning, which is Wednesday. This episode you'll be seeing on Friday. So hopefully we'll be back on track and back on schedule, especially with all that we have to do. Again, I'm appreciating the challenge that comes along with playing on such a big map. It isn't so much all that needs to be done as much as it is the time that it takes seemingly to get everything done. When I stop recording, a lot of times I have another hour, maybe 2 hours of kind of cleanup work to have to do so that I can rejoin you folks and you're not living through Groundhog Day and essentially wash, rinse, repeat with everything being done over and over and over again. Although you are seeing some of that, and some of it can't be helped as a result of this massive harvest that we have going on. We've got 2 soybean fields, and I'm sure as the month flips over to November, we're going to have 3 more corn fields to deal with. But that's okay. We have until January to do that. I just simply want to get this field and that one straight ahead of us turned over as quickly as possible so that we can get some wheat in. Because as I said, my hope, my desire is to be able to double crop these fields next year. So to get a crop of wheat off of them and then turn around and then hopefully drop in a crop of soybeans that we can then harvest about this time next year. Best laid plans, right? I am anxious to see what this soybean straw, or I guess you call it soybean straw. I'm anxious to see what that yields for us, what we're able to get out of that, especially financially, because I do get a cut of that. So that will help us out on the farmstead. And it is the second day of October, so it is payday, which is a good thing. Man, we've been working hard. Paycheck will come in handy. All these little bits here. Again, this is why I like to attempt to run a negative field margin so that the implement will poke just outside of the field edge, although I didn't do it here simply because of that fence over by the road. And while you folks didn't see this, after I wrapped up the last episode, this plow got, as you saw, got tangled up on the fence, and it was quite a fun time getting it off of it. In reality, if that would have really happened, this thing would have just ripped that fence down, and that would have been the end of it. But as it was, no, it just simply got stuck on it. Okay, a couple more spots here to clean up, and we'll be good to go. I did start the harvester here on this field and our unloader. I think we're going to change the unloader tractor. Our brand new Case Magnum. I'm a little disappointed in it. It doesn't seem to it just doesn't seem to want to play real nice with that auger wagon when it's full. So I think we might just go on back and grab the tracked 715 and even though it's a lot of overkill, we'll just go ahead and put it back to work. So let's send this back to the farm. We'll put it away. We will hook up to the planter or the seeder and get it in here and get some wheat in this field. Okay, there's our TMR for later. Okay, so this is at the field. I think we're going to go ahead and get it started. Let's see here. I think my desire would be, so I have the route already in here. I want to take a look though and see. I would prefer to start it on the up-down rows, just so, you know, if we do the headlands first, we're going to have bales at the end of the row, and then of course the tractor will get tangled up in them, and we all know how that works. So I'm going to run down here and see where the up-down rows start, and we'll go from there. Again, I want to offer a bit of a thank you and a shout out. We have officially a little more than doubled the size of the channel in terms of subscribers since this series started. Wow, I mean, I'm humbled and impressed. Actually making significant progress here. So thank all of you who have so diligently and patiently hung in there. All right, let's get this started back this direction. I'll have to get some separation between these waypoints, or it'll just want to turn around and go the other way, which won't do any of us any good. I have no idea what the pickup width on this thing is. Hopefully it's significant enough that we don't leave a bunch of straw in the field, but we'll certainly see what we have. I'll get up here just a little bit further. Yeah, boy, it isn't super wide, is it? It is leaving a good bit. Need the quick baler, the one with the pickup that's about 8 meters wide and goes about 25 miles an hour. I think that's the one we need. Okay. And that looks like it's off, so. All right, well, let's move on from here then. There's our first bale of soy straw coming out. Looks pretty good. Love that texture. Nice looking. This doesn't sell for much. In fact, it sells for less than regular straw. But I'm hopeful that we will get a good amount of it. And again, it's just some extra income, some extra revenue, and for me, a little extra commission. Let's let this thing get to the end of the row here. And of course, I chose this baler for no other reason than, well, it's a case. And as I think I indicated, I've never really done a playthrough with case implements or case tractors. So I thought this would be nice to give it a go. Although I do have to say, as I mentioned, I'm a little disappointed in our auger wagon tractor. It just seems to be a little underpowered. So I think that is one thing we are going to do, is swap that out here when we get a moment. All right. Yeah, this thing isn't making them quickly, but it's rolling them up pretty good. All right, we'll let it go and see where we go from here. Oh, there's our second harvester sitting there and ready to go. So once the headlands are done, we'll jump it in here and get it moving. Having two harvesters did make a significant difference in terms of the time that it took to get that first field harvested. So I'm hoping this one will go quickly as well, because as I said, we've got a lot to do. Rolling right along. Getting just about full. Oh, great. We're going to get full right along that fence up there. Oh, boy. Well, I guess we'll see what the auger wagon does, won't we? And there it sits, patiently waiting. Hopefully we won't have any hiccups or any issues. Oh, if you were with me last episode, I think you probably recall our grain truck there had tendency to slide off the field when it was parked. I moved the waypoints, the Autodrive waypoints into the field a little bit further, and that solved the problem. So apparently, it being so close to the edge of the field was the issue. Don't quite understand it, but okay, whatever. We'll go ahead and work with it. Boy, that thing's dirty. That's okay. All right. So here's our plow. Let's put it away, and we'll hook up to the seeder and see about getting some of that wheat in the ground. I absolutely love this plow. I actually wish I could find one that was a little bit bigger, but it does such a nice job. It's my favorite large implement plow in the game. Okay. Yes, backing up with an articulated vehicle. It's funny when I'm not recording, I can seemingly stay diligently concentrated long enough to do this in one nice, comfortable, smooth motion. But of course, while I'm recording and I'm trying to talk, yeah, it's anything but. Okay, well, that wasn't too bad. Let's run over here and grab the seeder. Probably have to fill it up. Don't remember. Shoot, now I gotta remember what's what here. I've got seed and fertilizer in two of these. I think the first one's lime, and the second one is seed. Oh, no, I blew past it. It's right back here. Well, I see our harvester needs to be unloaded. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh boy, I got that in there tight, didn't I? Oh my word. Let's hope I can get in here and get connected to it. There we go. And oh, we are full. Okay, great. So now I just need to back up one more time and see about connecting to the air tool itself. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Nope. Nope. Oh, shoot. You know what? This thing's supposed to be on the back. That's what the problem is. I think that's the case. Yes, it is. Okay. Shoot. You know what? Let me get out here and take a look. Yeah, I believe I have. Yes, I do. Okay, so the air cart needs to be in the middle. And I see our harvester still needs to be unloaded. Oh, well, it's going to wait a second. All right, let's get out here. If we can get around and get connected to this. Articulated tractor and what turns into an articulated implement. Yes. It's like asking a snake to crawl backwards. Admittedly, these things are a pain. However, I don't think there is a seeder in the game, that is as useful when you're dealing with these big fields as these things are. So let's get this over to the field. Let's see, I'll just get it out here. Well, maybe I better drive it. Whoa. Yeah, this thing's a little bit too wide for this road, I think. Maybe I just better stay behind the wheel. Let's jump in cab here. Oh, I have been making progress using my my Thrustmaster steering wheel. I still don't have my buttons configured exactly the way they are on my controller. As soon as I can figure that out, then I think a little bit more practice, and I might actually have guts enough to go ahead and try to record an episode while I'm using the steering wheel. I was watching a live stream earlier this evening from the Farm Sim guy. I'm sure all of you guys know him, and that's all he uses, and I absolutely love it because he does his live streams, and he has a camera on himself, and then one on his steering wheel and on his joystick, and I just marvel at the fact that he can drive, and he's using pedals as well, and he can drive along and operate these tractors, these implements, and he's able to keep an eye on the chat in the live stream and carry on conversation. Wow, that is incredibly impressive. Very impressive. So, yeah, and we have this cornfield over here, which we were using for our chaff, and it's ready to go. So we're going to have to harvest the remainder of that and stick that into the silo as well. But yeah, quite slowly we're amassing quite a haul. I think we've got about $800,000 at peak price in corn, and just that one field that we harvested of soybeans has got us sitting somewhere around $600,000. So, oh, what am I doing? I'm going the wrong direction. For crying out loud. See, this is what I mean. I cannot talk and drive at the same time. I'm going to the wrong field. Oh. Oh, well. And blocked by an object. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. So that means our auger wagon is in the way of our harvester, or vice versa. But we'll get this thing situated, get it moving through the field, and then we'll come back and deal with that. Don't worry, I don't intend to bore you folks with another lengthy harvest. Candidly, I think we're going to get this field seeded, make some soy straw bales. And what in the world happened there? Oh no. Here we go again, folks. Yeah, the header bounced off the oh brother. Header bounced off the uneven corners of the field. Wow. Okay. Looks like I've got some more cleanup to do. The grass that we planted, as you can see, is growing in quite nicely. In fact, I think I could probably cut that if I wanted to. Don't know that we're going to need it, but it's nice to know that it's there if we do. I'm curious to see on this map if we can cut it in December or January, and not something that's realistic. But yeah, I know on some maps the grass actually kind of goes dormant in the wintertime, and you really can't harvest it. So I don't know with seasons on it. I don't quite know what is going to happen. All right, let's start unfolding this monster. Get it up here a ways. All right. First waypoint, no course. Let's see, 19.8. I'm going to drop that down to about 19.5. Number of headlands. I think we are going to do 3. I'm going to do them smooth, though. Run this overlap up to about 20%. Yeah, we'll skip one row, and we'll do a little bit of an overlap on the field margin, but I don't want to do a bunch because, again, I don't want to get tangled up in that fence. So, okay. Let's see what we get. Okay, not too bad looking. Let's go ahead and save this course. So that's field 104. All right. Last thing we have to do here is make sure we have the right seed selected. That's wheat. And go. Okay, let's get over here and see. Oh my word. Oh, brother. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Let's fold the pipe up. Let's see if this is as simple as just saying nearest waypoint and go. And it may be. Okay. This thing. Yeah, well, I guess I'll let that sit there for now and we'll see what happens. I want to see whether or not this gets around the corner okay with that. Oh, you know what? That truck's going to be in the way, isn't it? Oh. I better jump into that real quick. Get it out of the way. Yeah, it's sitting right where the track of the combine is. So let's try this again. Hopefully it'll move forward, go to where it needs to go to, and everything will be fine. All right. Looking good so far. Great. All right, what's next? So, all right, yes, we're seeding. And yeah, we've got a little bit of overlap on the edge of the field. That looks good. Let's see what we do on this corner here. Ah, that fence. I love the maps where you have the opportunity to delete the fences. It was a Canadian map. Can't remember the name of it now. It was a 4X map, really nice map. And it allowed, ooh, wow, that was close. It allowed you to delete the fences on the fields that you owned. And man, that was nice. Okay, that's moving along. We are making bales. We've made, wow, 35 already. Not bad. Okay. Oh, my word. We're going to have a lot of bales off this field. Oh, boy. And here we are still waiting. So, yeah. Looking pretty good on the second headland. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. I'm going to hit pause for a moment. And I will be back with you as soon as there's something newsworthy, noteworthy, or some fun and folly occurs. Okay. So I did go ahead and swap out our carting tractor. I put the auger wagon back on the big case 715, the track 715. I thought maybe we would use this one to pick up our bales, our soy straw bales that we're making. And I took a quick look to see kind of where we would go with those. And honestly, it sounds pretty good. It looks like the best time to sell those is right now. So That's going to be great. I mean, we're gonna make some money off this. It's going to be an extra step in the process. Probably going to take a little extra time, but you know what? I think it's going to be worth it. So, what is that? Yeah, 105. Okay. I can never remember what field I'm going to. 104, 105, 106. Yeah, it's 105. So let's run this over to field 105, and we'll get started picking up some bales, and we'll see. Up. Nope. Yeah, this is what happens when you get your Autodrive lines and courses too close together. Let's see here if we're back on the right side of the track. There we go. That looks a little better. Get it out onto the field, get some bales loaded up, and let's see what these things sell for. We've already made a ton of bales. This is looking pretty good. I'm really impressed with the way this thing's getting around this field. Let's see how we do on this corner. It's kind of sharp. I doubt he'll tuck into the corner real tight, but wow, didn't miss it by much. Impressive. Okay. I think I might be able to live with that. Great, once around. So that means we're out of trouble. No more fences to worry about. And we have made how many? Let's see. Oh, 60 bales already. Wow. 60 bales. Holy buckets, that's a lot of bales. Those are the big 240 centimeter bales as well. Great. Excellent. Oh, yes, and then there's this fiasco. You know what? Let's go ahead and fix this. Well, I've got you folks here. I'll just... Well, let's see if I can do this and make it worth my while. Landscaping. Trusty smoothing tool. Yeah, you can kind of see the ridge right there on the edge of the field. Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh, my word. Look at that. Oh, man, that's going to... Well. Oh, great. Yeah. It's one thing about landscaping. When you eat up your straw. I'm kind of hopeful here we can maybe smooth this out enough that I can run the harvester back over it, and I'm going to sacrifice some straw here, but not a whole lot. Well, so the one thing about this smoothing tool, it does not work quickly. Okay. I don't know if this is making any difference or not. Again, this is where one of those nice Airflex headers would really make a difference. I'm a little concerned when I harvest that cornfield over there, which is kind of on a hill straight ahead of us, whether or not we're going to have the same problem. I do hope not, but I suppose it is possible. All right, one more trip back down this side. Oh. Hopefully this will make things a little bit better. I don't know though. Yeah. I guess it looks a little better. I still think it's going to be a problem. Oh well, we'll see. Maybe if I fight with it long enough, I can get it to play nicely. I do have the mod installed that allows you to do free landscaping, and this is part of the reason why. I have mixed feelings about that. I realize, if you want to truck in gravel or anything, yeah, it's going to cost money. That's not going to be free. But at the same time, when I have to clean up stuff like this, I don't feel compelled to have to pay for it. Okay. So, all right, we're at the field. Let's see here what we can do in terms of picking up bales. So, collecting, wrapping bales. Let's see if this thing will be nice and go down through this field, pick a bunch of them up, and not get tangled up with a baler. All right, got the first one. Looks like we're on our way. I love this feature. Auto load trailers aren't cheaty enough. We actually have a feature that a tractor will drive through the field and pick up the bales. Oh boy. I see these content creators who do these realistic series where they use every mod that they possibly can to make things as realistic. Like, if you drive on a field when it's raining, the wheel slip destroys the crops or creates grooves, and they only drive in cab, and they use things like manual attach. So you have to get out and then manually attach and detach all of your implements, and they don't auto load anything. And I have to tell you, I'm always fascinated watching those series. But yeah, that's not me. You're never going to get one of those. At the end of the day, to me, it is still a game. I do try to play somewhat realistic, but I'm not into being frustrated or having things take too much time, especially when you're dealing with big fields like this and big maps. I suppose, again, when you're dealing with smaller maps, a more intimate setting. Oh my word. Seriously? When you're dealing with smaller maps, a more intimate setting, it's probably a lot easier to do that because you're not going to pick up, 200 bales off of a field. You might have 8. Okay, now something got blocked by something. Let's see here. What are we dealing with? Oh my word. Here we go again. Okay, so we're back to this. I wonder if that's because that's where he was sitting. I think that's because that's where I had him parked. So let me get him out of the way. Let's see if he'll... Nope, not looking like it. And go. That's where the auger wagon was parked, and I think the harvester got there, got confused, tried to unload, and then of course couldn't get by the thing. So I'm going to give it a free pass on this one. We'll see what happens on the next go around. We should be full here in a few minutes. All right. Okay, we're loading up really quickly here, so about 50%. You know what I think we're going to do? since we do have some time here, I think we're going to do some cleanup around the place. I've got dirty stuff everywhere. And I don't think JD appreciates it too much when we leave dirty implements lying around all over the place. So let's open up our... We've got our forage harvester in here, which is filthy from its hard work. We'll get it cleaned up and put away. I don't imagine we will be using it anytime soon, which is kind of a bummer. Again, I think I mentioned when I was chopping all that corn, I've always stayed away from that because I've always thought it was kind of just a logistical nightmare to harvest and have a wagon alongside or whatever. But using the Courseplay unload harvester feature, I just cannot get over. I mean, it unloads a forage harvester better than it unloads a traditional harvester. Just hard to believe. All right, he's in pretty good shape, cleaned up. Let's get him back over here in the barn. Whoa. And we'll hook up to the rest of this stuff and get it all cleaned up. Starting to get a sense that we're going to be trading out maybe some other tractors or some other tools. I have two of these Case 715s, and I'm using the one, but I haven't used the other. I have this Case Puma here, which I really thought would be a really nice tractor for carting stuff, or maybe possibly be used for grass work, and it still may be, but again, it kind of lacks the power to do any heavy lifting. Although, you know what, we're going to use it right now. I'm going to go ahead and use that to clean up this trailer that's sitting out here that's filthy. And our harvester's full. All right. So when I started out playing Farming Simulator, I actually started out on Farming Simulator 16, which was the mobile version. I wanted something to play, just something to kill time or occupy some time, and I ran across Farming Simulator 16. I thought, oh, this looks kind of cool, and it was. It was really a nice. Oh my word! Now, why can't I pick up the? Oh, okay. I have had way too much trouble with this pressure washer. Oh, okay. We're full of soy straw. All right. And this is about ready to be full. All right, one more time back to the farm here. All these little hiccups. Seems like we're forever dealing with glitches and hitches and things that don't work. Okay, got to get out of the vehicle and bounce around a little bit. Anyway, as I was saying, so I started out on Farming Simulator 16, which was the mobile version, and I played it on my little Microsoft Surface Pro, which was a kind of a cross between a tablet and a computer, and I really, really liked it. I mean, and the Case Puma was one of my favorite tractors because it went fast. That and the JCBs, and I had several of each. And then I moved on to Farming Simulator 17 on my little Surface Pro, and not realizing that there was a significant difference between play on mobile and the standard or regular versions. So I had to learn how to play all over again, and instead of playing with an arrow pad and a mouse like I did on Farming Simulator 16, I had to plug in my Xbox controller so that I could drive tractors and do everything. And once I got past the learning curve, I thought, man, this is a fun game. It's really involved. And the funny thing was, 19 had already been out for, almost 2 years, I think, at that point. And right before 22 came out, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get 19. And again, I put it on my little Surface Pro, and I wasn't even sure it was going to run it, but it did. And again, I played, a version behind on Farming Simulator 19. 22 had been out for almost an entire year. And then I thought, 17 ran on my Surface Pro. 19 ran on my Surface Pro. So I downloaded 22, and even though I got that message that said, a warning, you don't have, your hardware is not sufficient to run this game or whatever, I downloaded it and I played it, and it actually ran, and it was great. The graphics weren't the best. It was a little glitchy and hitchy, but I was able to play it. And my son showed up. My son really loves video games, and he said, "Dad, that's terrible." And the next time he came back to visit, he brought me this computer that I have now that he assembled for me out of parts that he had lying around his home. He had been assembling computers since he was a teenager. And, 15 years later, he's built his dad a gaming computer. And not too bad for a hand-me-down system with a bunch of kind of out-of-date, obsolete parts. All right, we'll get this one cleaned up, get it put away. And I am thinking about, I had plans to build a brand new state-of-the-art gaming computer, had it all spec'd out. My son was going to help me put it together. And just as I was getting ready to pull the trigger and go shopping with him to buy all the parts that we needed, I had it in my heart to buy an Intel chipset, and all of a sudden, anybody that plays on PC probably knows that all of a sudden Intel started having problems, and their chips have been melting motherboards to the point where, if that happens, it's not just going to melt your computer, it might burn your house down. So I have put the whole new computer build notion on hold until Intel either gets it together and gets it sorted out, or I decide that maybe I need to move to an AMD. Not sure. But I definitely would like a new outfit, especially a new graphics card. This is a pretty low-end AMD graphics card that I'm running right now, and I had it in my head to put a 4070 NVIDIA 4070 Super Ti in, or maybe even a 4080, depending on the price and the hardware configuration. But again, that was all predicated on the notion of having Intel, and right now, I'm not comfortable doing that. Okay, so there's that. I think we can go ahead and put this away. I think that takes care of all of our dirty gear. We'll make one more pass around all the activities, see how things are going, and if everything's going okay, I may go ahead and, you know what? We've got a load of soy straw to unload. Let's do that. Let's get this parked up. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. Get this off the field. 30 bales. Nice. I think we're going right over there. I'd like to just cut across the field, but we're not going to do that. We'll go back out to the road. I looked at the prices. I have 2 sell points that I put down. One of them is way over by the shop, but the other one is right over there at the animal dealer. I put down a sell everything container. You got to have one of those, right, for all that stuff that you can't sell anywhere else. And that's actually one of the 2 best prices. It's just slightly lower than the other sell point over by the shop. So yeah, we're gonna go where it's convenient. I think we're gonna have several loads of this stuff, so why not? Drive it over there and unload it and see what a trailer load of this stuff is worth. So I had occasion last night. There's as I know, I've mentioned multiple times, and I have links to them in my descriptions. I follow a lot of smaller content creators. I really enjoy these guys. I added another one to the list on the episode that I just released this morning. Why Not Gaming? Guys like me. He's an older guy. Plays the game for fun. Really doesn't do it for any other reason other than the fact that he loves it. Really laid back, just really down to earth. And he actually did a live stream last night. And it was great. It was fun to watch. And he did it on a map that I guess I'd heard of it before, but I'd never looked at it, which, I mean, let's face it, there are hundreds of maps out for this game. I mean, anybody that's ever had occasion to look at, try out, any and all of them, probably has too much free time on their hands. But Bear Rock was the name of the map. And what's cool about Why Not is he actually enjoys logging, and he's really good at it. And it was kind of nice to see a live stream that was, well, nothing but logging. Let's see, unload bales. And right here. Or not. Oh, my word. Yeah. Here we go again. Okay. I'll deal with this here. I'll figure out what's wrong. Anyway, before I hit pause, I'll finish my thought. So, yeah, Why Not Gaming? If you've never heard of him before, check him out. He's got some really interesting content. Like I said, he's just a really laid-back guy, really down to earth, really loves to play the game. He's got some interesting insight, and like I said, I mean, the guy actually likes logging, so that's a cool thing. So shout out to you, Why Not? Keep up the great work, and hope to see another one of those live streams soon. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna hit pause, figure out why my bales won't sell, and I'll be back to you in a moment. Okay, everybody, I got it figured out. It turns out that the trigger is simply too low. So when I drive over with this trailer, I have to actually unload them on the trigger. It's a little bit of a hassle, but we'll figure it out. So let's see. So those all sold. Where did they go, and how much did we get? I think it was a pretty good amount of money. So I want to see right there. Sold bales. Okay, yeah, $21,000 for that one load. Wow, excellent. Yeah, we can do that without a doubt. Perfect. Send this thing back over to the field, load up another batch. Yeah, this bale trailer is not my favorite, in that, you know, when you unload these auto load trailers, typically you can like slide them off the trailer and then drop them down to wherever you want to set them. But this one, you can just slide it off, but you hit unload, they just drop to the ground. So you have to be relatively close to the trigger. I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to have to cheat more than once to make sure a bale doesn't end up outside the trigger. But that's okay. We'll sort it out. This thing was underpowered towing the auger wagon, but it seems to be doing a pretty good job towing bales. So I guess there you go. That's your job. What do you want for $300,000? It's everything in me not to go buy a Deutz-Fahr or a JCB that'll go 40 miles an hour. Move around the map quickly. Okay, back on the field. Collect bales. Go. All right. So it'll sort that out. Uh-oh, we're stuck here. Why are we stuck here and why aren't you? Oh, okay. Didn't have that turned on. Well, let's make sure you're not going to get over there and tangle up with the header, but I don't think it will. These grain headers are significantly smaller than the corn headers that we were using, so hopefully we'll be okay here. Like I said, it's unfathomable to think that it's easier to unload a forage harvester than it is a standard harvester. Okay, that's working. Let's see how everyone else is looking here. Cedar's finished its headlands, it looks like. Doing its thing. All right, we still have to feed some cows, but we're going to wait a little bit to do that. Bales. 123 already. And we're probably, considering we still have the headlands to do, we're probably not even halfway through this field yet. Wow, this is great. Man, that's 4 more loads, so that's at 20,000. That's 80. Man, what we've baled already is close to, if I'm doing my math right, that's close to $100,000. Holy buckets. Okay, that works. Definitely worth baling up the soybean straw. And we're still waiting on the headlands to be created to get this guy, or completed to get this guy in. So, all right. Well, listen, folks, once again, I'm going to hit the pause button, and I will be back with you when we have made more and significant progress. Okay, everybody. Getting ready to deliver another load of bales here. Let's see if we can do this and hit the trigger. Over here and unload bales here. And there they go. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Stop unloading. Operating position. Perfect. All right, let's send this back to the field. And go. And we've got one more chore here we're going to take care of, and then I think we're going to call it an episode. So far we've delivered 2 loads of bales. And wow, $43,000. And look, we are really racking up the bales. So far, we're at 190, and we're not even close to being done yet. We're rolling right along. So, excellent. One more thing. We're drowning in bleep. So, let's fill this trailer up. And we're going to... JD says we need to get rid of all this stuff. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to take it over to the sell everything container, the place that buys everything. And see how much a load of this stuff is worth. While it's traveling, we'll take one more check on everything. This is back to the field. I want to make sure it gets out there and starts loading okay. Yeah, that was just 2 loads of bales. We've got probably 6, 8, 10 more. Obviously, I'm not going to put you through that. I'll work on all this off camera, get both of these fields, finish up the harvesting, get both these fields baled up and sold, and the next time we're back together, we'll see what our tally is. But it's going to be pretty healthy. It's going to be pretty good. Again, you know, it's an extra step, but I think well worth it, really. Especially considering we get 5% of the cut. So, you know, it's not going to amount to a ton, but, you know, even if it's $10,000, $12,000, yeah, that'd be all right. Okay, off he goes to load up. And we're not quite full there yet. Seeding is proceeding. Moving right along. Oh, I suppose one thing we could do, go ahead and see about feeding these cows. I think I just may go ahead and we're getting pretty low on food, so let's see where they're at here. Just taking a look at them. Yeah, down to 16,000 liters of hay. So, yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and let this thing pour in, and we'll use that hay that we have as a cushion. In the meantime, where's our... Oh, there it is. Unloading now. For a grand total of $1,716. Well, it's not much, but boy, we've got a lot of it. So I'll continue hauling that and continue selling bales. And we're going to call it an episode. I'm going to thank you folks once again for joining me today. I appreciate your continued presence, your continued patience, and your continued support. As always, you know, if you liked what you saw today, I'd appreciate knowing about it. Hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't like what you saw today, well, I'd appreciate knowing that too. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what I can do to improve, to make things better, to make things more entertaining, to make things more interesting. And by all means, if you've been watching for a while and you're not subscribed, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing. It would help me out, and it would help out my channel. Have a great day, everybody.